Forum President, I'd like to call the Semmes City Council in tonight's meeting. Roll call, Ms. Hanberry.
Councilmember Watts.
Here.
Councilmember Ebright.
Here.
Councilmember Herring.
Here.
Councilmember Joyce.
Here.
Councilmember LaShane.
Here.
Mayor Van Hook.
Here. All right, minutes for meetings of February 1st and February 3rd have been emailed to each council member prior to tonight's meeting. Before I open up for discussion, please take an additional moment for review before I open up. She wants me to call her tomorrow. Oh, yeah, get in trouble. She probably won't have a rocket on.
Somebody that didn't follow up, so it's fine. Guilty, that's all.
Hey, y'all give me 1 second. Can I talk to you for 2 seconds before we go? So I got a quick question about it. Y'all keep reviewing that real quick. That is on the, under resolutions, under the third paragraph.
Yep, it should be. And then on the last paragraph in that, page, it refers to where we discussed, the raising of the,
Right.
HVAC units or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And it seemed that at that meeting, we said we were sort of moving forward with that, and then we voted on it on Thursday. So I think there should be a little extra there reflecting that.
All right, I got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Herring?
Nothing?
Councilmember Ebright?
Nothing, sir.
Councilmember Watts?
No.
And Councilmember LaShane?
Nothing.
All right, minutes for February 1st and 3rd will be up for approval at Thursday night's regular session. We have a financial presentation this evening, not because we don't want to show you, but we did provide a finance report to you guys. But Miss Mary's first day back after being gone with COVID for 3 weeks was yesterday. And so we're excited to have Miss Mary back, and she is extremely overloaded, and I told her this council would be extremely understanding that they didn't have the report this week, and that if this council had any questions, that they would call me and I could help answer them and get the reports they needed for her. So we're gonna move on. She did say, hey, boss. So first night we're gonna have the sheriff and the police department's monthly report. Police Chief Todd Friend. Hey, Chief.
Good evening. All right, so for the month of January 2022, the percentage of calls for service in Semmes was 31% out of the entire sheriff's department. So that's in Semmes, there were about total of 40 investigations total, and there you have the list in front of you. That theft of property seems to be the biggest problem. So you have 4 burglaries, stolen vehicles, there were 3. Unlawful B&E is breaking and entering a vehicle, and you had 2 of those, 6 investigations, and then the rest were 1 apiece. Some significant events that we had during the month of January. On January 18th, at approximately 3 o'clock in the afternoon, patrol deputies responded to 7111 Timberwoods Drive in regards to 1 shot. They met with the victim and shot through his hand around and grazed his stomach. The shooter was identified as Adam Lamarand, who lived a short distance away. The deputies responded, took Lamarand into custody. The handgun was recovered, and Mr. Bierman was transported to Providence for his injuries. Mr. Lamarand was charged with assault 2nd degree. Let's see, 10751 Moffett Road. A 21-year-old male, Elijah Huff, he was accidentally shot by his girlfriend, or his friend, I'm sorry. The table, he said it was knocked off accidentally and a round went off and hit him. So, transported to Providence Hospital, nothing life-threatening. Firearm was not located, coincidentally.
Really?
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Kinda odd, we had so many accidental shootings. But the victim doesn't want to prosecute, or if the victim tells you a story and it pans out, then, can't really do a whole lot else.
Thanks, Chief.
Any questions?
Councilmember Joyce?
Thank you, Chief. I did have one question. Under the screen where it had the list on the investigations, burglary, unlawful break-in, and then it had 6 investigations. So you have investigation under investigation. What exactly is that?
That could be a number of things. It could be, an investigation is initially written as just that, because they can't really determine in the field to find out what crime has exactly occurred.
Mm-hmm.
So in the field, it's written up as an investigation, so a detective can look into it deeper.
All right. Thank you to you and Chief Island.
Thank you.
Councilmember Harry?
Appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Councilmember Rebright?
Same deal. Thank you.
Councilmember Watts? Councilmember Lawson?
Thank you, Bud. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. All right, next we have the Fire Department monthly report for our Fire Chief, Mr. Kevin Brooks. Hey, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor, Council.
Good evening, sorry. Nobody answered you. There's nobody trying to answer you.
We've got our, out of 100%, 16% were service calls, and 1.95% was hazardous condition, no fire. Broken down into major incident types, we had 20 fires, 174 calls for rescue and emergency medical service, 5 hazardous conditions, for a total of 256. Company drill training was 401. Continuing education was 12 hours. Driver operator training, 4 hours. And officer continuing education was 3 hours, for a total of 482 hours. Compared to this time last year was 588 hours in class last year, where we put 3 people through. It was a 40. So turnout time, station 1 was 37 seconds. Station 2 was 38 seconds. Compared to last year, we had an average turnout time of 46 seconds. Average response time on mutual aid calls was 16 minutes and 7:52, and station 1 was 6:46. Compared to last year, mutual aid was 12:10, one was 7:24. Truck for the last month, our engine 3's been in the shop, but we had 55 for the month for 21.48% of the time. Compared to last year was 86 calls for 27.56% of the time. Aid given, we had 3 compared to 5 last year. So average time on scene was 20 minutes and 54 seconds. Compared to last year was 18 minutes and 52 seconds. Couple updates, the public safety complex, some of the exterior progress. We've got the concrete sidewalk with footing for the structural steel for the front facade going up. The interior progress, we've got a picture of the engine bay there. We've got some sheetrock installed. We also have HVAC system is going in, almost complete electrical, and so they're moving right along with the interior. The fire station warning devices, those have pretty much been put up by Public Works. I think tomorrow they're going to finish up with the solar panels and the electrical boxes mounted on those poles. So you can see Station 3 northbound on Schillingers. At the top of the hill, we put one in. So you know, you can see, they'll be able to see those warning signals before they get over that little rise there. And also southbound on Schillingers, one's installed there. And then we've got a photo of one southbound on Wolf Road at Station 1. And I've got a meeting with AlDOT next week to locate the positions where we're going to put the ones at the new fire station on Lot Prairie. So almost finished with that project. Congratulations to one of our firefighters, Bailey Richter. And, out of 3, we ordered some equipment to completely outfit it. A lot of times when we have a truck go down out of service, we have to kind of rob the equipment off the ladder truck. Now it's completely outfitted, so we ordered some forcible entry tools and mounts, and got all that mounted, so it looks real good. Had a couple of fires in the month of January. 8575 Moffett Road. Had a residential fire. Upon arrival, the crews found heavy smoke coming from all sides of it, and extinguished the fire. The fire was ruled to be undetermined due to lack of physical evidence, with moderate damage throughout the house. Also had a travel trailer camper fire, 8455 Ward's Lane, and you can see it was heavily involved upon arrival. Very hard to get to. We had to stretch out some lines. It's back off the road, off the Ward's Lane, but we quickly got that under control, and that fire is undetermined at this time. We also had a camper fire at 9551 Spice Pond Road. You can see upon arrival, it's heavily involved. We advanced hose lines and got that fire under control pretty quickly too. It was due to an electrical fire due to failure of a power strip. It was, and then 7150 Powell Road had a report of agriculture piece of equipment. It was a Kubota skid steer. The engine compartment was on fire. It was way off the road. We had to get our brush truck in there to put that fire out. And then 8901 Howells Ferry Road, residential fire, was in a single wide trailer. It was out upon arrival. The owners had actually had a water cooler that they put that fire out with, and it was communicated with the crews on the scene that they were able to get that out with minor damage to the room of origin, and smoke damage throughout the house, but we set up positive pressure fans and ventilated the structures. Any questions?
I do have a couple comments. First one is, I know y'all have been extremely busy this month, because I know one day y'all got like 17 calls. And so, of course, we want to thank you for you guys. And, you know, it was an honor to go to this graduation. It was my first one. And you know, I hope we can hire some more and do some more training with everybody. And my last comment would be, I know the first property that you showed, everybody knows that was Mr. Blackwell's house on Moffett Road. Y'all keep his family in this prayer. Miss Blackwell passed away, and Mr. Blackwell's in the hospital not doing too well. So y'all keep the Blackwells in your prayers, if y'all don't mind. Any discussion, Councilmember Joyce?
The turnout times are improved, seem like every report seems to be improving. And just a question on the warning devices, and I did see the one on the south side of, Station 1, and it even had the other one, and it's also in the picture. They'll all have 2 lights, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
because
they
one of
just-
those only have 1 light, so, okay.
We had to rent a bucket truck today.
Had 2 lights.
Right.
Thank you.
Councilmember Herring?
Chief, appreciates you and your department's hard work in keeping us safe.
Councilmember Ebright?
Same here, appreciate it, and the crews and all the guys and everything for everything. They, with the crossfires and low temperatures and everything, y'all been hard at it. Thank you.
Councilmember Watts? Councilmember LaShie?
Appreciate the work y'all do. Y'all stay on top of everything.
Thank you, Mr. Law.
Thanks, Chief. All right, we're skipping the finance report. Next to is the Semmes Chamber report. And we have our executive director, Ms. Donna Brooks. Hey, Ms. Brooks.
Hi, how are y'all?
Good, come on down.
The Popular Home and Waterproofing will be the sponsor, and that's William and Amanda Edwards. The speaker will be Christy Bush, and she is the author of Break the Code. She has a very big following, and so it'll be a pretty big crowd. We'd like to see all y'all out there. And that is at 11:45 at Pathway Church. The Azalea Festival is coming up on Sunday, March the 20th. It's exciting. It's gonna be a lot of new. Derek Smith is chairing the Azalea Festival with Lisa, and it's gonna be very exciting. I recommend everybody to come out and look at everything that's new. I mean, I'm excited and can't wait. We have the food vendors already all lined up, and we've got the craft vendors coming in. But I would like to have any craft vendor that wants to come. We have room for 100, so we'd like to get some more. So anybody know anybody, please pass it on. And any business or any people, any person wants to sponsor, glad to have you. We're shooting for bigger goals, better days. And let's see.
That's a good motto. Bigger goals, better days.
Yeah.
Like that.
We're having the car show this year. This year, for the first time, they're having a bird show.
There's not birds.
Yeah. There you go.
Big mean birds.
I was gonna say,
Not tweeties.
big birds.
Yeah. And it's just gonna be, they're just sort of giving it a little update and a facelift to make it exciting. And then we're gonna have Breakfast with the Bunny on April the 9th. And that will be right before the city's Easter egg fall, what do you call your event?
Yeah, spring fling.
Spring fling and egg hunt. So we're excited about this too. It's to be announced where we'll have it, but it will be $15 per child, and it's from 8 to 10, and there will be limited space, so we're fixing to put out a flyer, and so if you want your child there, okay, it's gonna go the same way. And it's gonna be fun and exciting. It's a first for this, and the first for the Santa went so well. I think this is even gonna be better. And the Easter Bunny will be there. So it's gonna be exciting.
Awesome. Did Jerry from the community center get a hold of you today?
No.
They were trying to get, the community center was trying to get a hold of y'all for your
Oh,
breakfast.
good, I'll call
I
him.
don't know if y'all
tomorrow.
asked for a donation of the facilities or something, maybe?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, any questions or comments, Councilmember Joyce?
I'm just gonna follow up since I did sort of help, organize the, Birds of Prey, and it's they're gonna be the Raptors. So they're gonna be two shows on Sunday afternoon from 2 and or knock it off.
Just slap it.
I'll stick that, get her to stick the bald eagle on it. It's the Gerby Road, but they take in, birds of prey and other things that get injured. So like the bald eagle cannot be, released into the wild. They've got owls, hawks and stuff. And so they do a great educational as to how they're really good for the environment and how, how they keep our yards and stuff free of mice and stuff without pesticides and whatnot. And it's great fun, and actually depending, they're doing 2 shows, at the ones that I've gone to, because my friend's the one that does is the biologist, that does it. Kids can get their picture, with them. I mean, she's holding them, they're not flying, because some of them have been injured in a car accident, been hit by a car, those sorts of things. But they are great ambassadors, and you learn a lot, and you don't know, every day get to be close. So hopefully she'll bring the bald eagle, so my favorite. But
Mine too.
yep, so those are at 2 and 4.
Yeah.
So, and I know Liz has, talked to her and coordinated, and because there's a fee, because it's for the school and they take donations to care for these, I know Brenda already got a sponsor, to cover their costs. So that was done very quickly, so it should be great fun.
Awesome. Councilmember Harry?
Ms. Hahn, I appreciate your hard work and the board's hard work in getting the Zay Festival put together. I know it's a lot of thankless hours that is put into that. But the additional attractions that y'all have been able to implement into the Zay Festival, and of course continuing on with it, it's really great, and I can't wait to see, of course, what y'all's future events as well.
Councilmember Ebrard?
Yeah, same here. Appreciate everything the chamber and the combination with the city, bringing all these events, to the citizens in surrounding area, and bringing people into Semmes to see what Semmes actually is about. Thank you.
Councilmember Watts?
Thank you.
Councilmember LaShue?
Appreciate the work y'all do.
And I'll say one thing, this council's already approved a, tax exempt for the day of the Zay Festival for the chamber. And I think the chamber's working on, getting equipment and staffing needs for the Zay Festival. That will bring another resolution before the council for approval. All right, thank you, Ms. Donna.
Thank y'all for doing that too.
Oh, thank you. All right, so that's all our presentation this evening. Ms. Debbie, do we have any citizen comments on the services, policies, and/or affairs of the city?
No, sir.
All right, so now we have one ordinance up for discussion. Jacob, do you mind presenting this ordinance to the council?
No.
All right, first ordinance is ordinance A. It reads as follows: an ordinance to prohibit dogs from running at large. Go ahead, Mr. Fuller.
All right, so we have an ordinance in place that covers this, that the city adopted 3 or 4 years ago. But it's adopted from the state law, which means we can't change it. And the problem here is we've got one person doing municipal court tomorrow night with 17 violations. And he's gotten way more than that. That's just this go round. And the state law that we adopted a few years ago limits the fine to $50. Since we've had constant problems with this, we decided to pass our own ordinance, which we can enforce in the city limits, to add stiffer financial penalties and jail time. Because I hate to say it, but we got one person that has zero regard for our current law, but most you can get fined is $50. And the property is by a municipal park. You've got dogs harassing people, Semmes employees, almost daily. And won't do anything about it. We can, and it's actually our judge that said, it's ridiculous that we go fine 50 each time. So we can pass our own ordinance and cap it 500. So that's what this is about. We really need to nip this in the bud. It is a constant problem. People playing disc golf or just people enjoying the park or people out there working. And I suppose, start finding $500 and putting him in jail, he'll comply. And you know, this will obviously cover our entire city limits. And you know, in instances like this, sometimes a person's not really at fault if a dog gets out. I mean, you know, my dog's gotten out, but the officers use good discretion. It's repeat offenders that are placing other people in danger that, you know, we're looking to get at. But that's what this is about.
And I'm gonna take the interrupt, but we're also talking about patrons of our municipal park that are being bit. We've had pictures sent to us. The dogs, some of the dogs were actually surrendered to the mobile animal control, and once that happened, he went and acquired more. So, you know, our attorney has suggested to us that we have stiffer fines, and hopefully this will put an end to the issue. I will say that this ordinance was discussed last night in the Public Safety Committee under the chair of Councilmember Joyce, and this ordinance did pass unanimously to be forwarded to City Council for approval. Any further discussion, Councilmember Joyce?
Well, I was gonna say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can come up with something else.
I know you can.
Well, thank you, Jacob, for doing this so quickly, and it's a really, it's a shame that we have such a great asset in the city, this municipal park and all that Public Works does, and with the Parks and Rec Committee, with their efforts to expand and sort of build out municipal park, but frankly, who wants to go there if the risk is such? Using the disc golf, what is it, #1 in the state?
The disc golf, our disc golf course is the #1 in the state of Alabama.
Right, and so here they're out there, potentially, you know, playing and competing or enjoying the fitness hub or splash pad as we're about to get warmer, and being a dog owner, dog nut, and I won't take a dog there, you know, once heard all of this, and that's a shame that, you know, we can enjoy it, and if someone is so selfish, and it's unfortunate that, you know, someone allows their dogs to get to the point where they're just basically running in a pack, and, you know, he should just, I digress, surrender them all. But, you know, this is, granted, we've got this issue coming up, but there might be something else in the city. So, you know, even though we're focused on this one, but I think it's a good thing. And like Jacob, you know, people, their dog gets out, but when it's a repeated behavior and people are getting attacked, then something's wrong. So all for this, and the committee discussed this last night, Public Safety Committee, and as the mayor said, unanimously recommended moving forward with this.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Herring?
Well, it's, you know, you'd hate to have to put fines and whatnot, you know, on citizens, but, you know, in a situation like this, there really isn't many options that you're left with. You know, we're, of course, you know, we have a master plan that we're working on for the municipal park, repairing the splash pad, and of course, gonna have it open soon. There's gonna be a lot of kids up there.
Doesn't include barking and biting dogs, does it?
And
there's no designated area.
right.
We had to have dog parking there, but it's not for biting dogs.
Right, and you know, tournaments for disc golf. Yeah, the disc golf people fixing, you know, have the tournaments start going off for the summer year, and you know, it's just not something that it's definitely not taken lightly. But you know, when you're pushed into a corner like that, you know, we have to make sure we're taking care of everyone. You know, and make sure they have a safe time while they're at our park.
Thank you, Councilmember Ebright?
Yeah, same here. Definitely safety of the property is the main concern here for the park. I guess this won't, when we do, because we, you know, the Parks Department is talking about, you know, hopefully, you know, putting a dog park down there. And of course, you know, within the dog park, you know, that they are, you know, will release the dogs, let them run around, so I hope this shouldn't affect that, correct? Okay. And second, we have you know, one in, you know, that's a state statute that's already on the books. I guess that will core with this one.
Yeah, that, we can still enforce that one in the police jurisdiction.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
But this is all happening in city limits, and it's just really the worst location it could happen.
Right, they'll work with each other, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. All right. No further comment, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Councilmember Watts? Councilmember LaShie?
Well, bad dogs and people don't mix.
Good say there myself. Can we? All right. Resolution A, I'm sorry, ordinance A will be up for discussion on Thursday night's regular session. All right, next are resolutions. Tonight we have two resolutions up for approval. First is Resolution A, and it reads as follows. A resolution for the city of Semmes to contract with Mobile County and Mobile County Sheriff Department for the detention of municipal detainees and prisoners. At this time, I'll ask Chief Friend to come and present Resolution A to the council. Big day for us, Chief.
Big day, big day.
Big day.
We have met with Sheriff Cochran about the housing of inmates that the city of Semmes police officers in the future will arrest. And he's agreed to house our prisoners, so that will save us a ton of money for personnel and facilities, whatnot, for housing of the prisoners. So the details of the contract are going to be March 1 to March 1 on a yearly basis or an annual basis to be renewed on an annual basis. So and the cost is $50 per prisoner per day. There is a minimum of 4 hours. That has to be there for a minimum of 4 hours, up to 24 hours to be able to be charged the $50. So that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Chief. And I'm gonna rely on Miss Mary, because Miss Mary wrote this original contract when she was the finance director for the sheriff's department. So when Chief Burrow sent it over to me, I had a question for him. He said, "Well, just ask Mary. She wrote it." So okay, I can do that. So Miss Mary, Miss Mary, we told her the price of it, the $50 a day, and you said what?
It's a good deal.
It's a great deal.
It is a great deal.
So we wanted to thank Sheriff Cochran and the Sheriff's Department for stepping up and helping us out with this, because when we went into this thing, we did not want jail services, and that's what we said from the get-go here in Semmes. All right, discussion, Councilmember Joyce.
I think it's a great, another step in, getting the department completely up and running, and, we again discussed this, was presented to us. Huh?
I was gonna say
It's my turn.
Sorry.
And it was presented presented last night at the Public Safety Committee meeting, and it was unanimously recommended to move forward with approval. So I think it's great.
You had a busy meeting last night.
What's that?
You
Yes,
had a
we
busy
did.
meeting last night. All right, Councilmember Herring,
Nothing further to add.
Councilmember Ebright.
Yeah, I attended that meeting last night. It was a great meeting, very informative, and appreciate the sheriff, you know, I mean, not sheriff, but the chief, you know, response to everything. Only thing I didn't catch in the meeting was, discharge. If a inmate that's, you know, put in by the city, and if he makes bond, or is he discharged, how does that work? Do you get notice, or?
Yeah, what we will have will be a kiosk at our headquarters where people can come in and pay a fine, they can pay bail for whatever the case may be. So if they pay bail for someone that is currently in jail, then an email will be sent directly to the jail, to the magistrate, and to me. So everybody's in the loop that we know that this person has made bail and he's to be released. So, and Metro Jail will keep records of that as well. But everybody will get notified of that. So our kiosk will be basically all inclusive for any kind of monetary fine whether it be bail or a ticket or whatever the case may be, so, we're in the process of setting that up as well.
I like that idea.
Now, let me add real quick, let me interrupt real quick, let me add real quick, that that's also a service that we're not charged for.
That is correct.
The payee, is charged for that service.
Correct.
And this is a service that other municipalities in our area use as well, so.
Right.
I wanted to add that on top of that.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. It's a great service and it's a fee on top of the, the fine and stuff.
Right, totally free to us, will be set up, it'll more than likely be called SemmesPay.com, and that's it, so.
Yeah.
free to us.
You always hear about the revolving door, and you can't help the revolving door in a lot of cases. But if you know that when they're getting out and everything, you can be prepared for that, so I appreciate that.
Another added benefit to this Semmes Pay and the kiosk is that you can actually do it from home on a computer, on your laptop, or a desktop. All it is a website. So all you just need is an internet connection to the website, SemmesPay.com, and you can go in, log in, and follow about 5 steps, and you can bail somebody out, you can pay a ticket or whatever the case may be, and it just sends the notifications out. So you don't have to come in to do it. You can do it from your home.
Councilmember Watts? Councilmember LaShie?
Save y'all a lot of headaches.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Steve. All right, resolution A will be up for approval at Thursday night's regular session. All right, next is resolution B, and reads as follows: a resolution authorizing the expenditure of funds for a fireworks display. At this time, I'll ask Ms. Lovelady to present resolution B to this council. Hey, Ms. Lovelady.
Hello. So really more here to answer questions about this. This is the same event that we do every July. So it's our 4th of July celebration where we do the fireworks. And we're using the same company, or that's what we're wanting to do. It's Pyrotechnico. And this is the contract that we signed with them to do the firework display. So.
And the cost was more this year because last year, but when we came in as a council, the cost was already halfway paid for.
Right.
So I guess it may be all wondering right from the previous year. All right, any discussion, Councilmember Joyce?
Yeah, look forward to it.
Councilmember Herring?
Same, looking forward.
Councilmember Ebrahim?
Yeah, same here, so this is basically gonna be exactly the same fireworks.
Right, it's the same display, the amount is just different because the year before last, we had paid for half of the fireworks.
Right.
And then because of COVID, we had to cancel it. So then last year, we only had to pay the other half. So it's the same amount that we typically pay for the same show. It's just all at one time this time.
Yeah, so actually seemed to be better last year, so that's awesome.
Right. We just did the timing a little different, but I plan to do it the same.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Watts? Councilmember LaShie?
A lot of people come to see that.
Yes, sir.
It's a good entertainment.
Right. We're planning it for July 2nd this year.
Thank you, Ms. Lovelady. Resolution B will be up for approval at Thursday night's regular session. All right, now we're moving on to committee reports. Finance, we do not have a report for this month. With the committee being out, we've canceled our meeting. As you guys know, all the financial committee members have agreed to meet at the end of the month now versus the beginning of the month. So all other committees can get their paperwork in, any PRFs, anything, and send to the finance committee for approval. And then we'll report at the beginning of the month. So we'll move on to Parks and Recreation, which is chaired by Councilmember Tony Ebright. Councilmember?
Yes, so we met, what was it, the first Monday of the month, at 6 o'clock, and we basically went over what, for the previous, council member, over the master plan, and, talked about, several items that basically was a short, sweet meeting. Nothing too much new.
All right, thank you, Councilmember. All right, next we'll move on to Historic Preservation. Councilmember Chairman Lee LaShie does that one. Councilmember, you want me to give the, since you were out?
I was at,
You were out, yeah.
at the meeting, yeah.
Councilmember LaShie was out for COVID, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? A few things that the committee discussed were the completion of the markers and the plaques for the Boys and Girls Club, the Howe House, and the senior citizen, Blackwell Home. We also discussed some future property that the Semmes is going to try to get eventually. And we also discussed the options of, the acquisition of the, Semmes Heritage Park.
Correct.
And what else did we talk about?
And we talked about the, cemetery and the
Cemetery.
anniversary of the.
Cemetery.
That's right, so the 150th anniversary of the Semmes First Baptist Church. All right, any questions or discussion? All right, let's move on. Public safety, actually, I missed one, no, we didn't. Public safety, that is chaired by Councilmember Helen Joyce. Go ahead, Councilmember.
So we've, had our meeting last night and we've discussed, the ordinance and resolution of the dogs and, the jail contract, so that took up, some time. We had updates from both chiefs, so Chief Friend also presented to us, the rendering of the striping for our vehicles. And, is that something that can come up?
Yeah, Shannon, I emailed, do you want to show that yet? Okay, we can show it here, Council. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something else quick. Ask and you shall receive. So I'll burst the chief's bubble because it's his design and all his creation. But the colors to go with the gray are the MGM Columbia blue and black. And that's will be on, Chief could correct me, on all the Explorers, but not. And then on the Tahoes,
Right.
they won't have the top lights.
Right.
With the brush guard.
Right.
Something like that. And the details, but he.
And he will do the unveiling at the Semmes Azalea Festival for our first vehicle.
Actual vehicle, so, anyway, so that's very exciting, and the chief did said, you know, MGM is, integral part of, our community, and that's why he decided to, select their, colors, for the vehicle, so that was exciting to see. And then on the fire, since we're talking vehicles, we'll talk about my fire truck, so Chief Brooks is going next month down to Florida for, it's next month, right?
Yes,
For the construction, early March, for the construction of the new engine, and, actually they told him, if all goes well, that we can actually see it, by August. So, which is great, so that's, a long time coming, but it'll be, especially since engine 3 has been out of service now for a while, for a month. It'll be great to have, the new apparatus. And, the chief also talked about the signals, and that Public Works was working, to get those up, so, you can see the progress on Wolf Road by Station 1, you can see them both. And then on, Schillinger, so look forward to the one at, Watt Road. And then we had a guest speaker presentation, Bree Viger, addressed the, Public Safety Committee about the human trafficking. And she and her mother, they're involved in a foundation, that she had created and went to a summit on this, and so has come back with some, interesting information and statistics, and also to encourage, the city of Semmes to, become a human trafficking free zone, and with some education both for employees and first responders. So I think the Public Safety Committee was very receptive, and the mayor, in attendance to that, and so we'll move it forward, with that.
Any discussion? All right, thank you, Councilmember.
You missed a short meeting, Councilmember Henry.
That's not
It was not short,
That
Councilmember,
was,
it was
yeah.
not short. I'll let her tell you that.
I haven't been the one that was short yet.
Preacher out there.
All right, next we have the Public Works Semmes Beautification Committee, which is now, which is chaired by Councilmember Jason Herring. Go ahead, Councilmember.
All right, so we had a nice meeting. One of the things that we're talking about, we're looking at adding, street, reflectors in the street, going cut through traffic that goes through the area. Of course, the roads had already been paved, so they're fine, but they wouldn't line because it was done by the county at the time, when it was done. But we are just having complaints, you know, there's issues with people swerving unnecessarily, staying on their side, and there's no clear indication of where the center of the street is. So Mr. Franklin is great to the electrical grid at Hunter Park. You know, we had a few pretty great ideas already come up out of it that are temporary permanent style. You know, where there will be a temporary housing, but we could have a permanent housing, but there will be temporary connections that you can connect to it, just like we did the Zag Vessel for the trees and stuff.
Much needed.
Yeah, so, you know, we can easily accommodate a lot more without having to do much work. We got a visitor outside?
Yeah, we have a visitor outside?
Preacher.
Preacher.
Preacher in the Walmart parking lot.
That's pretty loud.
That's,
We have a noise ordinance.
you have a noise ordinance?
Exactly.
Sorry.
I'm in
Hey,
the
call me outside. Sorry.
Yes, we're looking at doing some electrical upgrades at Honor Park. And, you know, to kind of help with any festival or events that we may do there. Of course, with also helping during Christmas time for decorations and all that. We also got an update from Jason Franklin that the claw truck should possibly be arriving probably around June, July. And so we're also working on trying to make sure we have everything in line leading up to that before. Just as far as ordinance, all that fun stuff. Also, we had a guest speaker, Miss Calloway. She's a rep for the city of Mobile on joining a county-wide feasibility study on recycling. And of course, that was the call you got today.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that we're looking into to see if we can be a part of. There's no cost, you know, as far as what they would require of us. All they want is just some of our time. But it's also, you know, to help the entire county as far as enticing additional additional private companies to come in that actually handle, you know, recycling. I forget, what is it called, Tony?
All-in-one recycling.
Yeah, the all-in-one recycling. Right now, the only current location as far as deliveries is over in Pensacola. So apparently Baldwin County's getting one built, and Mobile's trying to see if you know, they can entice someone to come over here to Mobile. So, you know, that could possibly lead to additional recycling within our county to help, you know, some of the trash burning that happens around this area and others, and, you know, hopefully help clean up some of our waterways as well.
Great. I had a pretty good busy meeting too.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And also, she was talking about, you know, the study ability to, you know, give us grants
Yeah.
to, you know, for training, education with our city logos and, you know, stuff on it too.
Yeah, thanks, John.
That's great.
And then that's what she was calling you about, is how much grant money would you look, you know, that the city would look,
Yeah,
be
she
looking
had
for.
mentioned something like that. That's where I was gonna meet with you guys this evening before
Right.
I committed to anything. I'll also let you guys know your MGM banners came in.
Yay, awesome.
So they look great. The rest of your banners look fantastic, and in fact, we're going up with the new banners tomorrow.
Awesome.
So, you know, y'all look for you on the streets tomorrow. For which one are we putting up, Jason? Do we decide?
Spring.
We are going with spring. So,
Like to
so
see
I
the-
want to go simple, but my vote doesn't count.
Like to see the pictures of the MGM if you have them, Bill.
I actually have them. I'll send them to you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any other
And,
discussion?
one more thing, also Jason, Franklin, had mentioned that Alabama Power has got the stock for the lights for Oak Hill, and hopefully those will be going up anytime now.
Great. Busy meeting. Good job, guys. All right, our last one is the planning commission, and council member Helen Joyce is the city council rep on the planning commission. So, council member.
Well, since we're talking about really short meetings, that was a, 2-hour meeting, Mr. Franklin, where we actually didn't vote on anything. We had a lot of things that were brought up to discuss. We had one application, they were working on changing the process for subdivision applications. So we had one that had, that wants some waivers to our regulations, whether private road subdivision and the frontage on a road. And so to try and help applicants, the process would be that we would address the waiver. The planning commission would be presented with that, and we can address it. And then that saves an applicant money. If the waiver's not approved, that, because that might not, they may not wanna go, forward. But the little hiccup is that our subdivision regulations don't provide for that. So, we're gonna have to do a little revision and tweaking. So there was some discussion, about that. We also discussed the, zoning and some, prospective changes to the zoning ordinance. And I do believe we had some people here that evidently left, about, we've had a few, the city has, some issues with, manufactured homes. And so there's some discussion about that. The zoning, ordinance basically designates, where those can be. And so, I think people were unaware when they made purchases or, trying to do things, though zoning was adopted last April. So, anyway, so there was some discussion on that, and then also on our comprehensive plan, with regards to zoning and with regards to annexation. The zoning says that, a parcel will come into the city as R1 residential. And so what if it wants to be a business? So looking at sort of, I don't know, we can call it, it's not, we can call it pre-zoning, but if in our comprehensive plan, we have a land use map that designates an area as commercial, Samara, our representative from Sarpsey. Only problem is, we're working on the comprehensive plan, and the old one from 2013 does not have it. So now we'll have a gap of, this period of time where we really can't do that. So that if someone wants to annex in, that might be currently one thing that needs to be changed, then we've got this gap that won't help. We were trying to see if that would alleviate having to rezone a piece of property upon annexation. So anyway, even though the use does not change, it can stay the same use when it's annexed. So there are various variables. Samara with Sarpsey has some things she's going to look into, so we will continue that discussion at the next meeting.
Thank you, Councilman. I want to add to that, while we're live on YouTube, we did put out our surveys today for the comprehensive plan, and we've made it easier. You can go on Facebook and take the survey. We've also downloaded on our app, city app, to take the survey as well. So, yeah, we sent out a notice on the app for people to do it on the app. So there's many options, and we hope everybody, many people that we can, participate. And the chamber possibly help us promote the survey as well, so we can get that out there as many business owners and people who live in our Semmes. We can't make changes if we don't know what the changes need to be and what the people want. So that's the main priority.
And and I will just say that they did a great job on the survey. It is very sort of sleek and very simple, and doesn't take. It sort of gets to the heart of the matter, as opposed to one of these ones that you get that says, it's going to take 8 or 10 minutes or whatever. It just gets to the punch, but it's sort of more modern. It's certainly a lot different than the paper thing where you have, are we worried about tornadoes and whatnot?
Railroads.
So, yeah, underpasses and railroads.
Is there a deadline on that, Neil?
Jason, there's
We got a
Yes.
month.
We got 1 month.
1 month, thank you.
All right. So other news. Before I ask for comments, I would like to call an executive session or closed session. At this time, I'll ask Jacob for the reasoning for the session.
We have some pending litigation
Yes. All right, we are now entering into executive session. Folks,
That was so wrong.
No disrespect.
He hears that every day.
It's freezing in here.
We sit down yet?
Sit down, yes. You may be seated. I'm just glad y'all stick around, because last time we went to executive session, came back, you guys are all gone.
Somebody on this road, but it's that man outside making all
Oh,
that
okay.
racket.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. The time is now 7:17. Do I have a motion to certify this closed session and enter back into regular session?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilmember Herring, seconded by Councilmember Ebright. Discussion on the current motion, Councilmember Joyce. Councilmember Herring. Councilmember Ebright.
Yes, sir.
Councilmember Watts has had to leave, and Councilmember Lawshy. All right, Ms. Hamburger, we record the vote.
Councilmember Watts, Councilmember Ebright.
Yes.
Councilmember Herring.
Yes.
Councilmember Joyce.
Yes.
Councilmember LaShie.
Yes.
Mayor Van Hook.
Yes, motion to certify closed session has been approved. All right, do we have any additional comments from this council? Jake, anything additional? Will you do me a favor and give them an update on City Hall real quick?
Yeah.
I told them you would do that while you were here.
There's really not a lot to update, but we did get all the, steel was delivered last week, and, they are supposed to start erecting the steel in the metal part of the building this week. We're told tomorrow, but we'll see. We're excited about that. Also did wanna say that, on that survey, we had a great, push this afternoon. Over 100 people have already done the survey.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so we printed out a bunch of paper surveys for people that didn't have internet access, and we take them to the senior center, the library, and there's a stack here at City Hall as well.
Right, great job, guys. Thank y'all.
Oh, man. One
Yes.
day, how was movie
Golden
night?
Boy.
Liz, you want to come up to them? Want to know how movie night was?
So yeah, it was great. Movie night was great, and we had about 50 people show up. They were pretty much all new faces. So typically when we do movie night, we kind of have the same people that always come. And this time, I don't know why, but we had a lot of new faces. So it was nice to see the new faces, and the movie was great. People really appreciated it, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't make movie night because I was in Vegas. My wife turned 40. In fact, she turned 40 today, so let me wish my wife a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Cindy.
Started singing.
And same here, I had to work, Mardi Gras. So.
Yeah. All right, any other staff comments? All right, any other business I might come for this meeting? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilmember Herring, seconded by Councilmember Ebright. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?